So today's Stir Up Sunday, and ordinarily as a church we would gather at the Adventure Playground, we would have all the ingredients and we would join together in this ritual, this tradition that our church has come to do over the last few years. And I think to say we're missing you all is an understatement, and I know speaking to so many of you that you're missing everyone else as well. So today, to make up for it, what we thought was we would do the Stir Up Sunday. Jago and I, give us a high five. Woo! And hopefully through it, you'll also be able to either bake your own cake and think about the reflections around it, or maybe you just want to watch and you want to see me and Jago get a little bit messy, but also bake this cake, this Stir Up Sunday, the cake that we normally then serve our community with at our community carol service. So this year's going to be very different, but hopefully we will still experience something of God stirring up our will that we might do his good work. So all you bakers out there, what is it that makes the base of the cake? It's sugar and it's butter. There's not many cakes you'll bake that don't have those ingredients. So Jago, you're going to put the sugar and the butter in? Can you tip it from the big bowl? That's it. Perfect. And what about the butter? Can you put the butter in as well? Amazing. And what do we need to do now?
Eggs.
Wow, what do we need to do before we put the eggs in? Do we need to stir it and mix it up? Yeah. So when we think about the butter and the sugar that make the basis of the cakes, when we're thinking about God stirring up our will, we're thinking about how our actions explain what our core beliefs are. The butter and the sugar make the base of our cakes, and we need to know what it is that are our fundamental beliefs that make up our lives as well. In Luke chapter 6, it tells a story, or Jesus tells a story, of a man who built his house on the sand and another one who built it on the rock. And the man that built it on the sand, when a big storm came, the house fell down and all its foundations were rocked. But the man who built it on a rock, when the same storm came, the house stood strong because the foundations were firm. In Luke chapter 6, Jesus tells us that if we build our lives on him, that even when the storms come, we'll still be able to stand firm. And so as we stir this part of the cake, we pray this prayer: God, stir up our will that we might do your
Good
work. Good work. Amen. Next, we add the eggs, and Jago's doing a brilliant job here. Absolutely brilliant. And we add the eggs because the eggs bind the mixture all together. And in the Bible, it tells us that we will be bound together with cords that can't be broken. What do you think some of those things are for us as a church? This year, we've not been able to gather together as a group, as a large group, and it's been a really tough time for some of us. So what is it that's kept us together? What are those cords that have meant we've stayed a community, we've stayed in relationship with one another? And what might we need to rethink going forward in order to make those cords even stronger? God, stir up our will that we might do your
Good work.
good work. So Jago, what are we adding? Fruit. And we add the fruit because it's sweet. And even though it's dried, it still adds that sweetness. And in Psalm 34, we find a verse that says, "Taste and see that the Lord is good." And I always like to think of this verse as a bit of a request from God that says, do you know what? It's okay if we don't always believe. It's okay if life gets us down and life is really, really difficult and we find it hard. But give me a go. Ask me your questions. Give me the opportunity to share something of my love with you. So this Advent, I wonder what it is that as we're stirring up our hearts, as we're stirring up our will to do the good work, what is it that you might ask God this Advent? God, stir up our will that we might do your
Good work.
good work. So we're going to add the ground almonds. Yep. And while we're doing this, we do it because sometimes life can grind us down. Sometimes it can feel like somebody's having a big old pummel at everything that's going on for us. But we go back to the beginning with the butter and the sugar. You're going to put it in? And what it is that makes up the foundation of our lives. Because when life is grinding us down and things are getting difficult, that's when it matters. That's when it matters what our core beliefs are, what it is that is at the core of us. Do we believe in ourselves? Do we believe in the people God has made us to be? Do we allow others to be part of that and to share their lives with us so that we're not in it alone? So as we add the ground almonds, may we remember that others are around with us even when life might grind us down. God, stir up our will that we might do your good work. I've lost my assistant. So finally, we're adding the flour. And we add the flour because it's the flour that thickens out the mixture. It makes it full. It makes it big. It makes it so that we can share it with other people. Jesus said that he came so that we could live life and live life to the full. And I wonder this week how you might be able to prioritise people or actions or activities that make your life feel full. This week, I had a conversation with two really close friends. And when I got off that phone call, I felt like I'd had a 6 weeks holiday because actually they give me fullness of life. They are life-giving and they give me that excitement and that joy that I need. So this week, as the flour thickens out the mixture and makes it full, I pray that you will be able to find somebody or something that also enables you to prioritise making God part of your life. God, stir up our will that we might do your good work. Amen.